Hey, this is Garrett. They're letting me do a music thing here at Paste, and I'm talking right here with
Lizzie.
Lizzie. Y'all know Lizzie, right? We're talking about the new Archers of Loaf song. That's a band I've been into since I was a young man of the age of 14 or 15. Pretty much as long as they've been around and all the time they were gone. They have a new song out today. We've written about it up on the site. You can go read that right now if you want to. It's called Raleigh Days. As a long-term fan of it, it's really cool to hear some new music by these guys. And I really like how they try to recapture the sound of the old days with like the really high-pitched guitar sort of contrasting with like sort of the noisier, more discordant guitar chords. Lizzie, I know you weren't really around in the world when their first album came out in 1993.
This is true.
So
Yeah.
what do you think of the Archers of Loaf and Raleigh Days?
Yeah, so basically I was introduced to them through their first record, Icky Metal, but only got into them like a few years ago. I guess got into them by way of sort of Guided by Voices and sort of Built to Spill, that kind of thing.
The white guy indie rock.
The white
canon,
guy sort
basically.
of college rock, yeah. So so that's my main point of reference for this song, and having loved sort of how raw the first album was, I was a little bit surprised, I guess, to hear something as hi-fi as Raleigh Days, but I really like it a lot. I mean, it to me sounds like the new stuff that like Superchunk is doing.
Yeah.
Like it reminds me of them a lot, which is great since they're a great band too.
Yeah. And they always had some similarities. And Raleigh Days, it's like hi-fi compared to Icky Metal, the earliest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The other albums they made in the 90s, which are I think mostly all of them produced by Bob Weston in Chicago, those are kind of like brighter and more hi-fi than Icky Metal. It really easily could fit into VV or All the Nation's Airports, or second and third albums. And what you're saying about Superchunk, back in the day, like at least among my friends in Georgia, there were sort of like these three like pillar bands of like Chapel Hill indie rock, and you had Superchunk on one end and Polvo on the middle, who were just completely discordant and almost Sonic Youthian. And in the middle you had Archers of Loaf, who were sort of like threading the needle between like the catchy pop punk sort of Superchunk and the more noisy elements of Polvo. And again, this song, it's like a 2-minute 20-second pop song. It nails that sort of catchy yet still sort of a discordant again tone that like you kind of know from those old Archers albums. One of the big differences is Eric Bachman, the singer. He used to sing like he was basically choking, like his voice was just like insanely gruff, and he doesn't sing that way anymore. He kind of has more of the crooner style that his other band Crooked Fingers he did throughout the last 20 years. And it's a nice contrast.
Yeah, kind of mask the lyrics a little bit as well. We were trying to decipher what was going on with it, but
I don't know half of what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's talking about Raleigh, obviously. They're from North Carolina.
Right. It's kind of a nostalgic, like happy-go-lucky sort of feel to it, but having not really been used to that tone of voice, I actually really like it a lot. I think it suits him pretty well.
I mean, there are songs of theirs I've been listening to for 27 years, and I still don't know half the lyrics. Singing along to him and just going like blah, 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 during some parts of it.
Sort of murmur your way through it, and it's fine.
Yeah. But anyways, that's the new Archers of Loaf song. They're back making new music. They're going to be on tour all summer long throughout America and probably elsewhere. The single is out today. According to the artwork, there's a B-side called Street Fighting Man. I'm assuming that's a Stones cover. I don't know. I hope it is. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be very unfortunate if they thought they came up with that themselves.
Well, I'm pretty sure they know
they
well
probably
enough
know
to
the Stones song, but
they're going to be on tour. Read about it here at pacemagazine.com, and thanks for tuning in.